Sorry,
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes,
my name is Laurie Hoekstra. I like how they did that in pair. Before I say anything more, a friend asked me to say something, and I think she can say it much better herself. Gwen?
Madam Chair and the board, I would just like to say one thing. If you can't breathe, nothing else matters.
That's correct. That's correct.
For me, this process reminds me of the SC2 process. I know it's been said before, but it's really familiar. And when you're talking about the testing, what we found with the whole SC2 process was the testing was so fallible. It's not what you test, it's what you're not testing, what you can't record. If that's what we heard over and over again, that's what we're hearing now. Metro Vancouver supported the citizens against SC2. At that time, they respected the right for people to strive to live in a clean environment. Now it seems that Metro Van is on the other side of the argument. I don't understand that. I've participated in 2 NEB hearings, one for gas certificate, one for electricity certificate. And initially, they're not user-friendly, but the board worked really hard to assist and accommodate, and they had meetings that were frequent. And most important, they had meetings that were unbiased. They wanted to hear what the people had to say without telling them what to think ahead of time. And I'm not finding that here. They were very large and enthusiastic turnouts. I know I wanted to speak at the Abbotsford meeting, but being held on a Saturday, I had already rearranged my schedule for the first meeting that was cancelled, and then it's on a Saturday. So if you want to hear from the people, make frequent meetings, make more than one, give them a chance to really speak. This process does not resemble the NEB process. It limits participation. Metro Van seems to want to impose on us a very narrow argument of incinerator or no incinerator. We haven't even begun to reduce waste, and we shouldn't be talking about incinerator until we start that process. I watch every week as my recycling goes into the garbage truck, not into the recycling part of the garbage truck, but into the garbage part of the garbage truck. I sort it, I clean it, I watch it go in. When you talk about X amount of recycling still being in the garbage stream, that's my recycling. I see Little Pender Island has roadside recycling kiosks. All you have to do is pull up, pop your stuff in, and you're done. There's none of this cumbersome. You go to a huge cycling center and you wait in line and you go through some weird process. It's so simple and they are so clean there. It seems so easy. A 2-year-old could do it. Why we can't do it here, I don't know. Consumers are stuck because they have to buy the necessities. When I think about school supplies, it's not as if I can argue with the teacher and say, no, I'm not buying that particular item because it's overpackaged. So we're stuck in the middle. We have to buy these things, we're stuck with the overpackaging, and then we're forced to accept that there must be some radical burning of the garbage. We don't have the manufacturers being held responsible. We don't have any way of putting it back to them. And the conversation should not be on the incinerators until we have reduced that waste immensely. I don't want the stuff in my home. I don't want to have to keep sorting it. Consumers cannot enact and enforce laws. That's where we look to you and to our own local governments. You ask for the input of the ordinary people. You should not be listening for business-minded ideas because that's for somebody who's getting something personal out of it. The ordinary people have been asked for their input. We don't want to talk about the so-called science. I don't think hardly any of us here are scientists. But if we have the ability and the intelligence supposedly to elect our leaders, and that's good enough, then we should have the ability to say yes or no on our own opinions. Logic dictates that the main focus of this discussion should be wide-scale reduction. We shouldn't be funneled into this narrow argument. Everyone's mindset must change. There are huge benefits for everyone when that happens. And it just seems really simple. If we have an incinerator, garbage in, garbage out. You don't reduce anything. You just make it into a different form. This whole strategy seems to is obscure from the real issue about waste reduction. It just seems to be about the incinerator, and I find that very disappointing. We really need to get onto the proper focus. Thank you.
Thank you.